Want to thank you for joining us for another episode of Iron Panther Presents. If you can't tell by my background, we shall be discussing Superman before and after. What does it mean to be the Man of Steel? What do we think about the new movie? What do you think about the franchise? A lot of people are hanging on to Henry Cavill. Like, this is the first Superman. Know your history. Be real. So we're going to talk about this Superman. How's he compared to the other Superman? Other movies, the DC universe, James Gunn, and all that type of stuff. That's what we're gonna do. So let's get to the intro. Oh, wait. I got to do it now. Wait. This is gonna be funny. Wait. You ready? I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional.
Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Yes, this weekend marks the beginning of James Gunn's new DC universe, starting with Superman and how it flushes out with the other Justice League characters. I say ish. Chris says ish.
Well, no, because he started with he did kind of do Creature Commando already, but
as a movie though.
No, it's a show.
That's what I'm saying, though. So this is the first movie that was animated, which was actually good. So for a movie, this is his first movie.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So as Superman, and again, trying to reinvent the Man of Steel. So Chris, we'll start with you. What did you think of Superman?
It was better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, to be honest with you, I've never been a really huge fan of Superman, to be honest with you. As far as the character, I mean, I respect the icon and the legacy that is there. Obviously, I grew up on Christopher Reeves, obviously, but so anytime I watch a Superman related product, not even just Superman, Batman as well, I already am thinking like, oh, I'm not going to be a fan of like the way the betrayal or whatever. Like, I don't like the whole like, I'm here to save you or whatever. But even though I know that's what Superman is, but so I guess I was coming in just being like, I'll see if I like it. It is James Gunn, and it was much better than I thought it was going to be. I will say this: as far as any Supermans we've ever had, including the TV shows, this is probably the most relatable Superman ever. Yes, I'm even including Christopher Reeves in this. This is the most relatable one. There's a couple moments where I'm like, damn, yeah, I get pissed off at these internet trolls too. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? There was stuff that he did. I was just like, damn, they make this practically immortal guy like kind of mortal in a sense, both mentally and actually physically. You know what I mean? The Superman gets damaged a lot easier than you see in any product. So generally speaking, I was impressed. James Gunn is a genius when it comes to ensembles, as we've seen countless times before, and he's somehow able to put a bunch of characters in one movie or even a TV show and not make it always seem too overcrowded, or usually kind of have it where pretty much almost every character has their own moment to shine a little bit. And he did that for most of the characters in this. So just one negative.
Well, before we get that,
it's a big one.
All right, before we get that, we'll do the positives. We'll do that positive.
I feel like my negative is going to piss off a lot of people. Okay. All right.
Let's get the O. Let's see what you think. The overall was positive. What are your thoughts on the movie, please?
I think overall I liked it. I didn't love it. I thought it was a solid, maybe like B- B movie. And I say that because I think we'll talk about the negatives, but I think the positives is definitely the new Superman. I think he's great in the role. As you were saying, Chris, I like that he's more relatable. He's more down to earth. He feels like somebody who is, even though he's an alien, he grew up on Earth and he's adopted a lot of our habits. So I think that's missing in other movies because you still get that sort of disconnect. Whereas here he feels more human, and I think that's a good thing. Jimmy Olsen, I wasn't expecting to love that run of his little arc and stuff like that as much as I did. Yeah, I think what disappointed me, and I know you, Chris, you mentioned this as a positive. I feel like the negative, without going into negatives, is that James Gunn, it still felt like a James Gunn movie, and I'm waiting to see James Gunn do something different. I'm waiting for him to take on a mantle and be like, I can just tell this story without having to tell the ensemble. Because we all know he can do the ensemble, but eventually, especially as the leader of the DCU, you're going to have to do something different. Now, he's not going to be directing every single movie, but I still need to see maturity from you. And that's the one thing I'm not really seeing from him. It feels too much like other movies.
All right. Real quick. Jamani's here in comment. James Gunn said this is a story of an immigrant and immigration. Was he pondering and copying capping by saying that? Was he pandering? I think at the moment, yes. I think in this time when the movie comes out, he's trying to make a statement. But I mean, I wouldn't go that far when it comes to the movie. If you know Superman, just in general. I mean, Lex hates him because he's not human. Like that's the standard. You know what I'm saying? But I won't go far as say immigration is the point of this movie. Darn, same age, same grew up with Dean Cain. So I think he means like cinematic Superman because it's been various TV shows.
Sure.
And behind that's why.
Yeah, because you're right. John. Yeah, like the original Superman, I wasn't even born yet when the first Christopher Reeve's version was it 1978. Yeah, I wasn't even a thought. You know what I mean at the time. So no, I mean, Dean Cain. I you know him and Carrie Hatcher watching him and Lois. That's cool. If you want to be thorough, I would say I probably really grew up more in Smallville, even though I was practically an adult when I started watching Smallville. But that was probably the first time I ever really got invested in Superman. Let me rephrase it. That's when I got invested for the first time was Smallville. You know, watching Tom Welling and all of his friends. You know, so. Yes, it's funny. We're gonna have this conversation. Born in 78. I would say the first I saw Superman 2, and I was like, "That's Superman." And then I went back and watched Superman 1, and that kind of thing. So Christopher Reeve. I remember Dean Cain. I was like, "Oh my god, that was the first Superman show." Superboy was like my big shit. Like the Adventures of Superboy came on for about 2 or 3 seasons, and then they changed to Superboy, and I didn't like that. But the first Superboy had me. Like I tried to dress up like Superboy when I went to school, so like that was the thing. But we got to separate movie from TV show because that's a whole different conversation. Lex Luthor stole this movie for me. From a writing standpoint, from an acting standpoint, this was the most vicious version of Lex Luthor that I've seen, that I was generally like, this fucker will do whatever it takes to take down Superman, including shooting a man in the head and not giving any kind of fucks. And it was like, we're just moving on. I will go get someone else until I find someone that you care. He was about to torture that baby, and I believed it. I mean, it was a CGI baby, but I believed that Lex Luthor would do it. Like, when he actually killed that dude, I was like, this is a Superman movie I've never seen. Like, to that level. I think Kevin Spacey's version, just because he's a great actor, in Superman Returns was probably my next kind of like insane one, but still believable. You know what I'm saying? To me, like Man of Steel was silly, so let's not do that one. And then obviously Gene Hackman just created it, you know, but that was still more comic booky, you know, and that kind of stuff. I felt like this was the most outrageous, and to see him as Beast, our actor also played Beast. I was like, it's interesting to see him so, you know, like that. So I thought he definitely stole the movie for me. The Superman as a special effects looked pretty solid, you know, like, you know, for I've seen worse, Chris. I was like, he's flying, the whole flying like head first thing. That's Superman Returns. He like that was the first time, and that looked awesome. Like, especially that final flight when he was like going, he did the whole like Christopher Reeve thing. I was like, I really liked, and I think they were mimicking him when they did that. I think he kind of set the standard for that, because usually it's like this, you know, that kind of thing. But I was like, all right. The suits look relatively to your point, it's the same thing. I told my friend Carl, and if he happens to be watching this, Carl, I told you. He made Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what he did. Okay, he made Guardians of the Galaxy. He did the same thing with the Suicide Squad.
he made this is the dawn of justice. That's what this movie should have been called. Superman, the Dawn of Justice. Because I was like, it's the Justice League. Like, they already got the building. I was like, what the? I was like, oh, this is the Justice League movie. My bad. He just didn't use the email attachment. He was like, I'm gonna give you some of these characters, but it's like, I was like, the music. I was like, I've seen this style. I loved Peacemaker. Peacemaker was awesome. It was relevant because that's like it's a legacy, and he's trying to bring it to the new DC. I thought that was a good tie since his show is coming up next month. I thought that was kind of cool. Post-credit scenes, I'm like, he's stealing from DC. I mean, I was like, we're sitting there. I was like, I mean, from the MCU, and I was like, all right. Supergirl was awesome. Like, my friends didn't know Supergirl was going to get a movie, so to see her kind of come in, I was like, oh, okay. So again, teasing the universe. And I was like, with all of this, where's the big three? You got to have the big three. Like, that
was a positive for me. That was a huge.
Yeah,
positive.
I was like, let me hear
positive. So glad they didn't have them in there. There's so many. Me and you have had this discussion about these Marvel movies that there is hundreds of Marvel characters. You don't need to have Spider-Man in a freaking movie just because you got 4 other characters. You know what I mean? Guardians of the Galaxy proved that. I am so glad he did not have to give him the pressure, but like, oh, we got to put it in Flash. Oh, where's Wonder Woman? Oh, where's Batman? Oh, no. Matter of fact, even the Green Lantern wasn't even the one we always see. It's the one we've never seen.
Yes,
this is the first time we've ever seen a live action Guy Gardner.
Just like,
and I am so happy there was no Batman, there was no Wonder Woman, there was no Flash because there's so many other characters. There was a person beside me actually asking, "Who is Mr. Terrific?" And then they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to research him." That's what should have happened. People need to research these other characters. Hawkgirl, different story, but all these other characters.
What?
That'll be one of my cons. I mean, my negatives. But anyway, but yeah, like all of this stuff. You know, I'm happy. I mean, if anything, Batman kind of got a shout out. You know, when you saw everyone evacuating, you saw Gotham City. I was like, good. That's it. Just show the damn city that he's in. Don't even say, hey, Mr. Bruce.
I swear to God, I thought he was part of the mural. Like in the Justice League, like I thought they did it real quick. Like, you know, like
yeah.
I swore I saw someone look like the Cape Crusader, and I was like, what the? But anyway,
I'm good. Yeah, I was so happy. Oh, another positive I will say about this. Thank you for not doing an origin for this. Another thing we keep talking about was anytime there is a new iteration of Spider-Man, a new iteration of Batman, they always have to show you, oh, this is what happened to my parents. Oh, my Uncle Ben this. Oh, my planet is destroyed. Oh, I'm in a space pod. Like, no, like I told you, my grandmother who don't even watch this shit, she knows everyone's backstories of the big 4, really. You know what I mean? Of Marvel and DC. I don't need to see Krypton seeing Bradley Cooper like trying to grab his son and put him out in space for the 50 millionth time. You know what I mean? I don't need that. I'm so happy. I'm so happy it was just right in the middle of it. Thank you. I don't need it. We all know. We already know the backstory. Don't need it.
But I would counter that with one thing though, because I hear what you're saying. Trust me, I get it. Origin stories get repeated all the time. This story needed an origin to understand the parents, to understand that twist. Yeah. Because without that, I don't know who they. Yes, I know them from other iterations, but this is the DCU. You can't rely on other iterations to give me the story to make that moment work. I need to know who the parents were, why I'm supposed to see them in one perspective, and then get the message and be like, oh crap. Yeah. If I just see the message and then I'm with them for what, a minute? It doesn't land. There's a lot of moments in the movie that doesn't work because I'm only with something for a minute. Like when Superman's homeboy gets killed, I'm with him for a minute. I have no emotional attachment to this guy. So then you have Lex do what he does. Yeah, it's a messed up scene, but I don't necessarily care. I think you got to be careful with that. I think there's a way to tell the origin without going through all the beats that are repetitive. But to give us something that attaches it to why Superman so much loves his biological parents, so that when the twist happens, it hits more. So I think finding that middle ground was important.
Sure.
To the first point, this is something Marvel does. David, you and I talked about this at the last stream. Yes, I agree with you. I'm happy nobody else showed up. I'm very happy about that. That said, you also need to explain why they're not showing up, because the first thing you tell me, it's been 300 years of metahumans being on Earth.
Yeah.
This is a big event that's going down.
Yes.
Nobody else shows up. I mean, Batman totally makes sense. Like, it's Batman. He's not going to be able to get there quickly, right? I can make excuses for that. Somebody's off on another planet, but you got to give me something, because you're telling me all these other people exist.
Or the potential
for them to exist. Yeah.
So maybe they don't. Maybe Wonder Woman's not Wonder Woman yet. Maybe she's still over in, with the other Amazonians, and she's still trying to find herself yet.
Which is totally possible. Yeah. And if that's the case, then I think I don't know how you explain that, but you have to kind of sweep that under the rug, because for people like you and I, we're going to be thinking about that. Or the person next to you is going to be like, hey, what happened to Batman? Why isn't he showing up? All this stuff is established already, but you don't have the core players established.
My only problem with that is, and I'm not even talking about this movie, I mean just with superhero movies in general, is that, and we've done this already in the sense of, like, when we review these superhero movies, we're always saying, oh, where was Captain Marvel for this? Or where was, where was Spider-Man when all the stuff in New York was happening? The problem is you're going to always say that for every superhero film. You know what I mean? Or like, you got maybe the most powerful being or the most powerful mutant. You're going to be like, where was they? It was established that he was there from 40 years ago. And so I agree in a sense. The problem is I kind of had to let that go like 12 movies ago, superhero movies ago, because I kind of got pissed off by the time Endgame happened. I was just like, and when Carol Danvers was like, oh yeah, this planet ain't the only thing that stuff has happened on. I'm like, bitch, you from this planet though? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're from this one, so it's I just kind of was like, F it. You got gods over here just doing their own thing, and I don't know, maybe they fell asleep. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, so I like the fact, Chris, to your point, I like the fact we didn't start with him on Krypton. He's in the ship, right? Like, but they still did it. They want us to believe that this man is dating Lois Lane for like 3 months or some shit. And he's like, just between you and me, I'm Clark Kent. Shh. Okay, baby. Where are your parents? Parents? I ain't tell you about my damn parents. I don't know you like that. Like, what? So then we got to go through, I came from another planet. I don't know where my parents are. I think they're in Kansas. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, they're trying to do it by shoveling it into dialogue, and it's ridiculous. This is your trusted human girlfriend, your friend. She knows your damn parents. Stop it. Like, she knows this. Like, I can't reveal those kind of details. It seemed weird. It's like again, you don't know Superman, so I got to give you this stuff in random dialogue. So I'm doing the origin story anyway. You are. And then I've never heard this whole that Kal-El was like, you're gonna take over Earth, baby. Like, I was like, you know what? I was thinking about Burn. What's that kid's name? Fuck. I like that movie.
Brightburn.
Brightburn.
Yeah.
That's what he turned Superman into. He turned him into Brightburn, but he didn't go crazy. Like, but at least this kind of made sense. Like, when it's like, this is his favorite message. And I read it to him all the time. Yeah, it's his favorite message. So why do I have to hear this? Like, why are you saying this? So, and you playing the message, then it turned to Star Wars. And it was like, wait a minute, let me complete the message. It was so out of place with every Superman story. I thought Lex made it up. I was like, this can't be real.
Oh, no. Oh, I predict that was kind of predictable. Unfortunately, like, it was kind of and I was hoping, I was like, I wonder, like, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if the whole damage tape, if like, he's so happy with this tape, and then I'm thinking to myself, what if all of a sudden they just do a 180? and basically saying like kill them all, and it was almost close to it. So if anything, it was kind of predictable. That's kind of one of the negatives I kind of had with this movie. It was just, there was a lot of predictable moments. The reveal of Ultraman, and you know what I mean. There was like a lot of things where you're just, but in that moment. Oh, I will say a positive thing about Superman's parents. For the first time, we had a Kryptonian language. It is kind of weird. I always found, if you think about it retrospectively of every iterations of Kryptonians, like they happen to know English. They're from a distant like solar system, but it's English they know, not even Spanish. Like, but they know the Earthling language of just particularly English. So I will say that is a positive. Is they gave them their own little language briefly, like give them a Star Wars type of language. You know what I mean?
I think
I still want to do negatives right now because one thing just keeps popping my head.
Hold on, wait.
I'll give you one more positive about the message. I mean that is, I don't know if James Gunn took it from Smallville, but that is very Smallville. When Kal-El comes down, his father is very much like, look, you have to become who you are, even if you have Jor-El, if you have to forfeit people, if you have to be a conqueror. But the only difference is I'm getting that story over 10 seasons. So I finally get the actual objective of what Jor-El was doing, right? He was preparing his son to become Superman in the most messed up way possible, but he's also not human. So he's going to do it based off of what he knows and his culture and stuff like that. Here, I think you just sacrifice. Personally, I feel like you sacrificed the parents to sacrifice the parents. I think there was another way to get exactly the same objective that you wanted for the story. It doesn't fully track if you really think about it, because, and this is probably why they didn't show Krypton, because you have to show loving parents trying to save their son, because you have to show Jor-El trying to save the people and them not listening to him and everyone being like, nah, he's a crazy person, and then him being, no, we're going to save our son. Think about that. Think about that backstory, and then think about the message they left, and it doesn't make sense. We send you to this planet. We found this planet out of all the planets that's going to work for you, but you're going to conquer it. Okay, all right, can maybe, but you're going to like spread your seed. You have to spread your seed. Get a bunch of women and do it.
On some invincible shit, right? On some Omni-Man, shit, right?
That's all I was thinking. Like at some point, he watched him Invincible and was like, "I can make this into Superman." Like at some point, he had
yeah, and it doesn't track. So yeah, you have to lose the whole Krypton story because those parents would not tell their child to do that,
right?
They wouldn't. It just doesn't make sense. Like we want to save you because we love you so much. Go bang a bunch of women. Like it doesn't. And you're telling a kid this, by the way. You're not telling an adult.
One day you'll grow up and watch this video and be like, and you'll know your language enough to watch the video. It's have to be translated because. But also, if we're gonna go down this road, right? Instead of I'm saving my child from a planet that's destroyed, this is Invincible. We conquer planets. So I'm sending my son as the advanced party to prep the planet for us. And they just didn't make it. Now it makes sense. Now, I mean, they love their child. This is your kingdom. Like, we're giving you Earth. You know what I'm saying? And you bright again. So we got Brightburn again, right? Like to be like, you go down there and you take it over. They just never made it. And maybe that's part of the message, right? Like, we're coming. We are coming. And then like what happened? That's what your cousin is there for. We're sending your cousin to help you be backup, because that should have been that conversation, not drunk girl coming back to Earth. Hey, did you get this conquer and fuck everybody message too? What?
I know the fact that never comes up. Like he sees her, he's not like, yo, just double checking, all right? Because we got some things to talk about here. No, let's have Crypto pounce on her and then she just pieces out.
Like, you know? We've established a whole new origin story for this very well-known character. You might want to talk to your cousin to be like, well, yeah, I was told I find a man, I multiply, and then I thought you would have had the planet conquered by now. So I don't know what you're doing.
And like, that's the thing that I think James Gunn doesn't do well in this movie, because that is your setup for her movie. That is the connective tissue that takes us into her movie. How is she going to react to that? Maybe she's off drinking and having a good time because she heard the message. It's like, screw this. I'm just going to get hammered. Like, there's so much character you can take into that movie, but now you don't have that. Now this is only Superman's thing. when she goes to her movie, she probably won't have the same story or bring that into it. So it's like it's a missed opportunity. If you're gonna go that route, go that route. You know what I mean? Like commit to it.
And guess what? Zod is coming. That like if this continues, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. And he's like, I said in the message, right? Like General Zod is it's like he's gonna have to address it. Like you cannot do Superman. You're not doing Batman without doing Joker at some point. That is how that works. It may not be the next movie, but it's down the line. And you can connect it if you make it all part. Like again, ultimately it'll be invincible at that point, and they'll be Viltrumites basically.
Right, but Zod's a great point, right? If you bring Zod into the equation, what's the difference between Zod and Jor-El now? The difference had to be, if you go back to Man of Steel, the difference is
philosophy.
What is philosophy? But now their philosophy is kind of the same.
Chris. Anyway, Chris. So what else? So you like what Hot Girl? You didn't what you think about?
Can I talk about my biggest negative first?
My fault.
My biggest.
What you
got? Ooh, people will hate me. That goddamn fucking dog, bro.
Yo,
that goddamn dog, bro.
Yo.
Okay. Look. I guess everybody like. Okay. Look, I had a dog, right? Loved him. His name was Charlie, golden retriever, beautiful. Great dog, yes, and he was mischievous and whatnot, right? So I say that, so just like I'm saying, like, oh yes, I have black friends. I can't, you know what I mean? So, but bro, the first time, okay, that was cute. The whole pouncing it, I get it. Dogs get like, bro. I'm sorry, I did not sign up to watch Animal Planet Super Pets. I signed up to watch Superman. Like, you know what I mean? And then it was just insane. Like, I thought in the beginning, like, that's all we're going to see. And then maybe, I guess, when Lex goes into the fortress, like, okay, fine. And, you know, but then all of a sudden it turns into freaking John Wick. Like, where's my dog? Like, I was like, oh, damn. And then the people in the audience was cheering. And I'm like, yo, there are people dying. And y'all was like, and I'm like, man, this is like real life. This is like, people like, oh, is the dog okay? You know what I mean? And yeah, I was so freaking annoyed at that, and I was so annoyed, and the fact that Kara is getting her own movie or show. See, I thought it was a show, but you guys were saying it was a movie.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But the fact that please don't give it. I want that dog. That dog needs to like maybe stay with Clark or something. So I don't see Crypto.
No, that dog is there, man.
It was just so annoying, and then people were in the audience like, "Oh." And I'm like, no, like, no, I don't need. I just did not sign up for all of this, all the scenes and whatnot. I mean, I guess it was kind of funny with him and Mr. Terrific or whatnot, you know what I mean? But then it was kind of ironic too, because I kept thinking of the movie White Dog, you know what I mean? And who was super, super racist or whatever. And then I saw this white dog literally and Mr. Terrific's interaction and whatnot. So I kept having flashbacks of that film. Yeah, I just I couldn't deal with Crypto. But yeah, I'm sorry, Hawk Girl, going into Hawk Girl. Hawk Girl is probably literally the only character in this ensemble that I really could just be like, yo, James Gunn, give her something, right? Guy Gardner was given a lot. Mr. Terrific was given a lot. Lois was given a lot. Hell, even freaking Eve, aka Mutant Toes, you know what I mean, was given more screen time, I felt, than Hawk Girl, which is ironic because the funny thing is, I don't know if any of you guys watched Justice League Unlimited, but I've always had even the way they kind of had Hawk Girl in that show, I found her annoying. And then so I was like, damn, I guess you guys kind of kept it consistent because I just didn't care. Like you doing a close up on her face and she's screaming like Xena. It was just in the hallway. I didn't care. The mask didn't seem like it fit properly on her face at all. You know, it just didn't seem like she fit with the Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific combo. You know what I mean? And I don't know why James Gunn loves to do that little fish lens. And that's where I kind of disagree with you, David, about how you like the whole flying montage with Superman. I hated that. I hated every time they did a close up of him flying because you can't help but to do like sometimes a weird expression on his face, and it just looked awkward as hell. Like one moment he's like as he's flying, and I get that's I mean, like hell, I skydived and I know your face on, but I'm like, no, I don't need to see
I don't need to see that shit.
Actually do that. I don't need to see. I mean, Tom Cruise don't even do that in the Mission Impossible movies. You know,
he's actually in the air.
Yeah, and he's a human being. You know what I mean? So I just don't.
He's not. He's Tom Cruise.
So that's my biggest beef about Hawk Girl. Not that they have Hawk Girl specifically, but she wasn't given really anything to do compared to pretty much everyone else.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So,
So what you think? Oh,
okay. So I'm gonna respond to Crypto because I'm with you on that. No, I thought Crypto was fine for the beginning. I think he was overused to the point where I was like, okay, dude, I get it. Like he's the crazy disruptive dog, right? I didn't like that Superman had to call on him in that final fight with Ultraman. I felt like we needed a moment where Superman won by himself. And that was the moment to have. Like, to be like, hey, brains over bronze, and then he gets his dog. I don't know. The dog is bronze. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's you know? But I mean, I get what they were going for there. But, like, I wanted Superman to get his own win and not to be helped out all the time. I get it. I mean, I think there's a lot of James Gunn in this movie, for better or worse, right? The worst is the dog. I know he has a personal relationship with his dog. His dog is very aggressive, just like Crypto and stuff. I get that. Again, it's cute at the beginning. You keep playing that same note, it loses its flavor every time. But I also think it goes back to what we're saying about Guardians of the Galaxy. He finds the characters that make the most sense for him. And I think Hawk Girl didn't get a lot because I don't think he saw a lot in her. You know, if you really look at Lois in this movie is not the investigative reporter. Superman gives her the interview. She doesn't find a way to get it. What was his name? Jimmy is the one who finds out about the pictures in the background, right? That's his arc, basically, that Lois is a part of. So I don't think he even knew how to do Lois properly. What he knew how to do was a girl who was in love with Superman or had conflicting feelings and eventually decides to be the love interest. And then he knows how to do all these sort of offbeat characters. And Crypto is an offbeat character. So, you know, you look at Mr. Terrific, it works because nobody, to your point, Chris, nobody really knows that character. So he can take that character and be like, see how cool he is? But I don't know. I just think I think those are the weaknesses, you know, rather than strengths of the film.
I felt like it turned into, and Terry, if she's watching, my wife, she pointed it out when the big reveal is given and he's fighting his own clone. She was like, "Is this Winter Soldier?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like it is. Like, he was like,
he went from Black Noir to Winter Soldier.
So, right.
Yes. He was like, "Bucky?" He was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I was like, "What is happening? Like why?" I was like, "This is confusing." And then, but to your point, relatable. I think Chris, I think we talked about this. Like when you put Superman at the Henry Cavill level, no, that's not true because he got his butt whooped a couple times in that movie too. Actually, to be real, like if he's too powerful, there's no stopping him, right? Like this will be over in about 10 minutes, right? But when he's constantly getting his ass whooped, you're like, why are you here? Like, is this even your movie? Like, I'm confused because from scene 1 to scene end, he was getting his ass whooped. Like, that's not a time that he stood up to be like, I am the Man of Steel. I am the strongest on this earth. It's like he always needed someone to come save him.
Which doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Because if you think about the beginning, this is my problem with the text in the beginning.
Yes,
it's sort of the same thing of like, hey, why aren't these other heroes and metahumans showing up? Why would you tell me that this guy has never lost a fight, only for him to get his ass kicked throughout the entire film? Like, if he's never lost a fight, okay, he lost that first one. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? The second one, he should be able to win. The third one, maybe. And then you bring me back to the climax. He's beating the person who beat him at the beginning, right? But the film is basically Superman just getting beat.
Yes.
It's just him getting beat.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, so what happened? So some holiday came up and now this guy's not Superman anymore? Like what? It just I just felt like that intro hurt the rest of the film, the way you're supposed to view Superman.
Yes. Like he is the top. This is his world. And it's no, you're not. Like you're a dude, you're a part of a team. And again, that's a different story, right? Like he found like minds, he found equal capabilities, and he's willing to say, I can't do everything. Like he kind of did at the end was a bit much, but I can't do everything. We together will make this happen, right? And when the villain is much bigger than him, okay, like I can't do all this, but I can't be everywhere at once. That's the other thing, right? Like that whole invasion of country, where the fuck was going on there? Like it's like the Justice Gang took care of that. Right, you know, like it's like I'm handling this, so like because you can't be everywhere, right? And I was like, okay, that makes sense, right? Like I'm fighting myself, you know what I'm saying, and I'm trying to get rid of Lex, and you guys need to take care of that. But it was like that was a balance, but every single time, and then that interview, bruh, I wanted to walk out when he was being interviewed by his girlfriend of 3 months. You are both news reporters. So how is it he's like on the record? Not on the record. On the record? Not on the record. What do you mean this is on the record? Motherfucker, you are a reporter. Like, and you've been banging this woman for 3. Don't you not know how she investigates? Like this whole thing, it went nowhere. It solved nothing because at the end, he's still doing what he wants to do. If the whole point was for him to understand that he represents something more than him, that he can't just do things, the Sokovian Accords, if you will, like, he didn't learn it. He didn't say, hey guys, we can't go into a foreign country and decide which one of these countries that we're going to support. That's not our role. That's the government's role. That's the US government's role, and we may help them. He still sent his super friends on their own to do what he decided what he wanted to do. So that message wasn't even taught. So why the fuck am I going through this with these two people? And how many times did you see humans looking at world-ending events and not giving a fuck? I'm like,
yeah, the whole time I was, I was just sitting there. I was like, are these NPC characters? You know what I mean? Like these are NPC characters. Are like, wow, like you know what I mean? Like I'm playing Grand Theft Auto and I got this big old shotgun. I'm shooting people, and then there's a pedestrian just walking by, like not a care in the world. I'm like, yo. The world is splitting in half, and you're over there taking pictures, or you're eating a salad in a restaurant. Meanwhile, there's like 6 different news stations going on saying what's happening, and you're just like, do. Oh, only when it comes, like, it's actually on you now. Like, no, dude, like, no, like, okay, if they would have did it like Man of Steel, in the sense of like him and Zod, like it was just going so fast and so crazy that people could not even respond in time, that would have been one thing. But no, it was like a small ass crap. Mr. Terrific was like, come on, we gotta go, you know. And it was like, I'm assuming it was like maybe a couple hours going by.
Yes.
I don't think, yeah, it was a couple hours going by. So it wasn't like it was like minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there was time for people to leave, and you saw some people leaving, but you saw some people just chilling, doing their makeup. And I'm like, the hell? Like, what is happening? Like, what is going on?
No, Chris, you gotta go to the beginning of the movie. Like, Superman is steadily getting his ass whooped, and people are like, "Hey, can I get a latte with 2 pumps?" Yeah. Anyway, I said, "I'm sorry, can you not hear me over the fight?" I said a latte. I'm like, y'all need to get out the way. Like, Superman is being beat by a kaiju.
How about them helping him out? Like, okay,
yeah, I was gonna say that he like smashes through the concrete. And only one dude actually goes down. Everyone's just like, "Oh, what's going on, Superman?" And the guy's like, "You guys gonna help or something?" You know?
I'm good.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't. I would run because
Right.
that fight's not over. That fight is not over. Like I'm like, yo, Soup, you got this. I'm praying for you. And as I'm like going back, like running back,
Right,
like, you know what I mean? Like, no, they just hover around him. Meanwhile, the dude is hovering up, looking like the Juggernaut up in the air. And I'm just like, no, he could like. I'm thinking the whole time he's going to like kind of do like a sonic boom to the ground, and I'm just like, y'all should not be here. Like, y'all should go.
Well, it's the funniest thing too because Superman doesn't even tell him that. He doesn't say like, "Hey," when he starts getting up. He's not like, "Get out of here" or anything like that. He's just like, "All right, I got to get back up," you know.
Hey, thanks, guys. Can I? Wait. How about Superman leaves an alien fight to be like, "Hey, baby, how's your day? I mean, is everything all right? I mean, did that paper go well? Oh, no. Oh, they're gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right. I'll go back. What you saying? I'm like, what the fuck is going on right here? Like, this is some shit.
I mean, in fairness, he didn't. He says he doesn't leave the fight. Like he was looking for his dog the whole time, so he wasn't even part of the fight. But in the whole time they're talking, you're seeing the fight. You're seeing the Justice Gang. They can't handle this thing, and he's like, they got it. It's all good.
Yeah, that was very James Gunn. That was definitely some James Gunn, like you seeing Drax getting like thrown everywhere, while Star-Lord is just having a whole conversation
Guardians
with
of the Galaxy intro part 2. Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I was want to say, yeah, like when Groot's dancing around and people get thrown everywhere.
Yes.
That was very James Gunn.
I was like, this doesn't.
Except here it was worse because here you're trying to have this very serious conversation. He just found out about his parents. You're like, oh, okay. My dog is missing. Oh, this is really heavy stuff. No, you got this fight. I mean, people in the audience didn't care what they were saying. It was like, no, this what's going on out there is more important,
right?
And that's what I mean about James Gunn. Like, there's a maturity that I'm not seeing in his work. It's the same stuff. You know what I mean? This should have been that moment of like, I came to this planet. I thought it was one thing. My parents, this and that. Plus, I hate this dog, but like it's my cousins or whatever the case. Give me something I can latch. The biggest criticism I have of the film is I couldn't emotionally connect with anything. Yes, there are things that are relatable, but I didn't latch on to anything of like, oh man, that's really deep. Like I'm rooting for this. It was just all surface level.
Jimmy Olsen being the hot big dick energy in the room, I'm like, why are we keep on doing this? Like, are we trying to redeem this character or something? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what that was. Like, there was like, well, let's do Will Ferrell and other guys and just have him having all the girls just throwing themselves to him. Yeah, it's
what's the name of Lex's partner? Not Schumacher. It's something Mocker. It's like.
Tessmacher?
Tessmacher.
Yeah.
This Tessmacher. That's who I thought Selfie Bitch was supposed to be. Because that's who he's supposed to be. Like, that's the one who's like, I'm your side until I'm not. Until I'm like, you're going too far. Every Superman 1, Superman Returns, it was Miss Tessmacher who's the one who's like, I can't do what you Lex. Like, you're going too far. I thought that's who it's supposed to be. And I'm like, no, she's not. I'm like, where's Miss Tessmacher at?
Yeah.
And then in the end, he's back to original Lex Luthor of it's all the land deal. He's destroying half the universe so he can have his own island, his own kingdom. It's all the land deal after all this. I'm like, word? Like, this is what
but like you said, it comes down, that's all dialogue. Like, that means nothing to me. I didn't see him go to the land. They talked about this cult following that he has. I didn't see a cult following.
Right.
Like, you're just saying stuff. And I'm like, oh, I guess. Okay, that's his reason. Wait. Did the engineer seem like she had a personal hatred for Superman? Yeah, like on at least on Lex's level of like, he's an alien. We're inferior. We got to do something about him. Right, like something happened. Like he forgot. Like, I thought we were gonna get that story. You didn't save my grandmama. You caused and that's why I gave up my life. I turned into this for the sole purpose of bringing you down. Like this, she wasn't just a gun for hire. Like it looked like it was a personal something, and they never explained that. Yeah, that's true.
No, you're right, man. And speaking of Lex and his cronies, the whole thing with Ultraman, I did not understand the whole video game aspect of it. With the like C3, boom, and then I just it didn't make any sense. I didn't know if they were just telling him to do a left punch, because it didn't look like they were like actually controlling his body, or were they? Were there like nanonites in them, and every time they hit a button, they just like doing that? Because then all of a sudden, when they had no visuals, Ultraman was able to fight by himself. He just wasn't very bright. So I didn't know they were just giving him orders vocally. Yeah, it was just really weird. I just didn't understand that whole fight thing. And then on top of that, the beginning title said, I guess it was 3 years since Superman, but basically he came out and said he was Superman, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Man, Lex got the best tech. I know he got the best tech, but I guess, man, I'm trying to know when he did the cloning, because that was mad fast. And because he said the other clones died, so I'm like, damn, dude, you do this like super fast, like literally the moment. Like, did you get him when he was still in Kent Farm? Like, what?
How
Like,
did you pull?
I'm just trying to know, like, all of that. You know what I mean? I mean, because I know they kind of switched it up. Because the other Ultraman's supposed to be from another universe or whatever, and I guess they didn't want to do another parallel universe, even though they already did do a parallel universe in a way. So they did the whole Cadmus thing, you know what I mean? Which is why I thought, for some reason, I was thinking like, oh, are we going to get a post-credit thing of like Superboy or something like that? But whatever. Yeah, it was just a lot of confusing. It was as much as I was appreciative that they did not do an origin. At least the people that you got around you, I need to know at least like, how'd you get Homegirl? How'd you get like? I mean, I know you said what happened with Ultraman, but the 3-year thing is kind of messing with me. You know what I mean? But
I let that slide because I was like, he's gonna be dead soon. So I guess I was just confused. But no, seriously, back
and I thought he was gonna turn into Bizarro when he's like, oh, he's stupid.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Bizarre. I was waiting for someone like he's stupid and a little bizarre, and I'm like, oh, and then I thought like he would fry his face and his face turns all gray or something.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I
was totally expecting a Bizarro reveal.
That's what we're gonna get. That's what we're gonna get. And that's like, nah, that's not what we get.
Yeah. No.
But I thought the last time, my last like, what the fuck is happening when Perry? There's the ground is splitting. Okay.
Yeah.
Metropolis is about to split apart or go into a hole, and he's like, so. Tell me about this story. All right, Chief. It's all Lex's fault. Wow. That's amazing. You think we should put that in copy? Yeah, I think so. Oh, yeah, the ground splitting. Anyway, continue. What the fuck are we doing? Like, we need to not be here. And it's like, okay, let's get on the plane. And now he's still writing the story. Lois Lane is flying a spaceship because it's intuitive. And she has to talk to a guy with a full laptop because she can't live stream. It's 2020 something, right? So I would imagine you can get on Instagram and be like, "Hey guys, it's all Lex's fault." No, we gotta get this to print.
Well, I mean, where's the internet? How did they get Wi-Fi? Like, are you just doing a hotspot? Because the hotspot as you're moving, is that going to work? I'm being nitpicky there, but like my biggest issue with that whole thing was, so they at no time did they think, hey, should we maybe save some people who are on the ground? Because we don't know if Superman's going to be able to do this.
Fuck them.
They were just like, no, we got to get this story out. This story is the most important thing.
Wait. Back to the story real quick. So when he was fighting the kaiju, right? That's when the reveal about the video came out, right? In seconds.
Yeah.
In seconds, they break into the Fortress of Solitude, copy the video, translate the video, somehow pump it throughout the entire world, and in seconds, the whole world turns on Superman.
Well, it's worse than that. In seconds, he got on that talk show, that news report show, got on there. Like you said, everybody turns on him. The president of that country, the one that started with the B, he was able to put a press conference together. They were able to verify that the transmission was legit. They didn't do like any double checking or anything. They were just like, nah, this is legit. All right, we're moving on.
It's real.
That would never work. That would never happen.
I mean, how would you even know that's his parents? I mean, the only person who would even know that's legit his parents is Clark himself. So that could just been, they're like, that's just Bradley Cooper. Like, that's just Bradley Cooper. Like, that's the dude from The Hangover. Like, what? Like, he's just wearing all white. Like, Superman wears red and blue.
Westworld.
You know?
I was like, Terry was like, is that Lady Gaga? I was like, and I was thought, no, that's the one
Lady Gaga.
I was like, what the? I couldn't believe. Yeah. I'm like, James.
And that was the other issue I had too. Was just a lot of things was just, it was super rushed. That's one of the issues that you have when you start to throw like 3 different plots in one film.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I personally could have done without the Earth splitting. I mean, if you wanted to just keep it to him getting his ass kicked by Ultron, and then and meanwhile, Mr. Terrific is trying to deal with this alternate universe thing or whatever, portal, whatever. Okay, but then when you start throwing all this other stuff in there, it becomes very, very messy, especially with this being the very first DCU film.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You didn't need to do all of that. You know what I mean? You just didn't. You know, I mean, and then having the whole international relations going on and whatnot. You didn't. All of that wasn't necessary. I mean, I understood what they were trying to do, and I appreciate it. I feel a little bit different than you about the interview thing. I was all right with the interview. If anything, I think it was one of the issues I always had with superheroes. I'm like, how do you just come into other people's territory and just be like, oh, I'm gonna do this? I'm like, dude, what? You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, that's a good point. You're in another country or whatever, and other planes got to get permission, but you don't even belong. Like, but you don't get no permission or whatever. You could just go in because you just wear an S, and you're not even licensed or nothing. You know what I mean? So I was all right with it, but what led up after that, it was the issue where I was just like, we don't need this whole international conflict. You're just doing too much with the story. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get myself comfortable with this new Superman here, like, you know, and understand him as well as Lex. You know what I mean? Too much.
See, but in a way that's how the movie, we talked about being overcrowded or not. That's how the movie is overcrowded. It's in the plot, but you have to do it because what's the Justice Gang going to do? Are they going to be fighting with Superman, or we have to have them do something else, right? So you have to create a scenario here. How can we have people turn on Superman? Well, we got to create this scenario over here. Well, what's visually more appealing to threaten Metropolis? Well, we got to have the Earth splitting, you know, and the whole black hole thing. That's how it gets overcrowded, because everybody has to have something to do, or else it's like, well, to your point about Hawkgirls, like, why are they in the movie? So it gets overcrowded when you start to not have a cohesive storyline that can bring them all together. What would have been a cooler storyline is they all got to work together to get Lex, right? There's different layers to that, but it all comes back to Lex. They're not all dealing with separate issues. That to me feels like, I don't know if I would say a Saturday morning cartoon. I don't even know if I would say a comic book, because even with comic books, even if you start wide, you sort of narrow down as the story progresses. Here, there's like 5 different things going on at once, you know? And I think that's just James Gunn. I think he just was having a lot of fun. And they were like, hey, you could do whatever you want with this story. Go nuts. And he's like, all right, we're doing this, and that, you know?
Got it.
Because
bring me the dog.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's like, wait, you think we have too much dog on this story? No, they need more dog.
More dog.
Because even with like the whole, you know, the black hole Earth splitting, they fixed that with a code. And I'm sitting there like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
So the Earth is not just splitting itself, like you can throw a code in there and it seals back up?
That's
okay, I guess.
Okay.
You know? But that alone is something big enough that Superman could have been taken care of. But you got to do Ultraman. But then you can't have the Justice Gang fighting Ultraman, because that's the big bad, right? So you got to give them something to do. So you got to have the whole international stuff, because you also want to mine some of the storyline that you got from Batman versus Superman, because that was some of that storyline. It was all those questions they were asking in this movie was Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Should he exist? Should he be able to do things unilaterally?
Yes,
all of that came from there. So
Yes.
This movie to me felt like James Gunn sat down, and God bless him, he watched everything Superman, and he was like, I'm taking that, I'm taking that, I'm taking that, I'm taking that, and I'm gonna James Gunn's it, and that's my movie.
I like that. I felt like I felt like I was watching Joss Whedon's version of what he wanted the Justice League to be if he got to really do the first draft, instead of just putting humor into like a dark show. Like, I felt like that kind of humor that this didn't feel like in place. But what made the international crisis even more ridiculous was they had that cute little boy, which is in the trailer. Superman, like we want Superman, right?
And he didn't show.
He didn't even show up. You never get back to this. Like, I'm sorry, I was busy saving my city. Yeah. Like, but I sent the crew. It's fine. What was all of that? Like, if he would have stood on his own and this was his movie, and he was a symbol that brought other metahumans out to be like, oh, we could do this, right? Like, you're our leader, right? Like, we can seriously, didn't Batman pay for the Justice League building? Like, they got the building already. Like, I thought Batman paid for that bitch. Like, how do you got the building? But I'm like, he should have been the symbol that we can be together if we come together. And then that makes sense now. Now it's like, hey, what, Green Lantern? Oh, hey, hot girl, some shit. All right, come on. Like, let's do this. Let's see what we can do together. And now that makes sense, right? And you're the top one. Maybe there's others out there, and we can build this team. Okay. But if the little boy's crying for Superman, Superman needs to show up. Okay, like that's. I'm sorry, like I just feel like I didn't ask for the Green Lantern guy and the fingers, and like it's like there was a lot of cussing in this movie. There was a lot like
I did love the touch with the fingers, but to your point, that it shouldn't have been in that scene. But that is definitely Guy Gardner. That was a great depiction of him. So much of an asshole. Like, you know, to the point, and it got me even more excited to see him in the new Lantern show, even though it's mostly going to be Hal and John Stewart, you know what I mean? But Guy Gardner's going to be in it as well. Like Nathan Fillion is going to be in like a couple episodes as well.
Yeah, he got many other jobs. I mean,
yeah. So the guy from Heartbreak Ridge? No, the black dude. Yeah. So So I love that moment with the finger. But you're right. There's not well placed, and definitely was not. When you think of Superman is something where you generally can bring the kids to. Yeah, and this one you
could, but I'd have to question some things about parenting.
I mean, because even Mr. Terrific, a lot of times you're like, it's like, God damn, man, what the hell is this? Like, it's like he's like,
I was like, hey. But let's talk about redeeming. So Mr. Turk, he got redeemed from X-Men. So I'm happy to see him. Like,
yes, I felt like that was done on purpose. That was done on purpose. Thank God. You make the one immortal mutant and you somehow kill him off. Second chance at life. Thank you.
Actually, back up. I know this is not the review we're doing. His DNA should have been the DNA for the Sentinels. Not fucking Mystique, but Mystique won an Oscar, and but like his DNA should have been. That makes far more sense that he can adapt and turn into anything to survive. Like that makes sense, right? Not just look like something. So I felt anyway, but I was like, wait a minute, you know what? Wait a minute. But I thought again, the ensemble idea was good, but it wasn't. The movie wasn't sold that way. So that's my other problem. Like it was so like the rest, like his predecessors. For the most part, they stood alone. I mean, Superman 1, he stood alone. Mm-hmm. Superman Returns, he stood alone, really. And then it was really Henry Cavill that had a team. Like humans helped him kill at least 2 of Zod's. He did. They killed the other 2. He broke the machine and he killed Zod after a long fight, right? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just him. So it did show that Superman can't do everything, but he's still the top dog even in that movie. This one, not so much. Like he got lucky. He was definitely not the brains of the operation. That was everybody else. Like he's definitely not the smart one. Also, that's the other thing. I'm sorry. So Lex can create technology that can grow a Kryptonian in less than a year. He can't figure out that Superman has a girlfriend. Or like he's actually like Clark Kent,
especially since he has his DNA, right?
Right.
Oh yeah.
So wait, why couldn't you piece that together,
man?
Like I'm like the stupid shit. Wait. So then, Mr. Fantastic? No, Mr.
Terrific.
He tracks his DNA.
That's for another 2 weeks, man. You're 2 weeks, ahead, man. You're 2 weeks ahead.
He showed you on camera that he tracked Superman's DNA to this machine, right?
Yeah.
Already said that. But then he gets there and he's like, look, let me show you this 3D representation. Oh, he went in there. Yeah, we already established that. Nobody has a detection system for their place. Superman has nothing. He has nothing on his belt that goes, oh, wait a minute. Someone broke into my Fortress of Solitude. I might want to go check that out. Lex has nothing to look at his whole camp of super soldiers and all that bullshit, right? Nothing. Oh my God, someone's breaking into my dark hole matter. So nothing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he hears about it later. I'm like, this doesn't.
No, I had a problem with that too because I was like, wait, wouldn't like Ultraman or something? You could have sent them in a jip to like help out because they were there for a good minute.
Right.
You know,
they were kicking a lot of people's asses. Like one by one, somebody could pick up a cell phone, open an app, and be like, "Hey, heroes are here."
Right.
This ain't good. I don't know why that alien having a white woman threw me off for some reason. I don't know why I was
why
like,
the who? Why the who?
The alien with the baby, which looked terrible. That CGI baby was fucking terrible. And Superman saving the squirrel, I'm like, fuck you, James.
Yo, the squirrel thing. Yo, that's where I was like, oh, are we looking at the Amazing Spider-Man, like when Andrew Garfield? That's where I was like, oh, this is the emo Spider-Man. I mean Superman, where he's like, oh, I'm punk rock too. Like, you know what I mean? Like him with this whole like I can do it all. And then when he said that squirrel, I was like, bro, why? I mean, what are you trying to convey here? Like, what do you? I was like, you having him say that squirrel is going to make headlines be like woke this and woke, like you already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like,
wait, okay, I'm sorry. I was getting off track. The green alien having a white woman. I don't know why that threw me off. It just cracked me up. Do you remember when he's
But why is the baby green if the woman was white? Like the baby should be like a mix of.
At the end, towards the end.
Yes. I don't. The newest member of the Justice Gang, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much about Element Man's backstory or whatnot. I mean, to that point, when I saw the green baby, at first I was like, is that supposed to be like a baby John Jones or something? Is that supposed to be like a baby March, like a manhunter or something?
I thought so too. I was like, what are we doing with the baby?
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know too much of that. I don't.
So there's a sorry, just really quick. There's a term that when I was working on Bosch, the showrunner would say it's gilding the lily, right? Like if you have something too sentimental, and that's what this movie had a lot of. It was just a lot of gilding the lily to get that. Like, see, he's not Henry Cavill. He's not the brooding Superman. Okay, it's the other side, guys. Come on. He's saving babies. He's saving squirrels.
Yeah.
It got to the point of being too much.
Yeah. So I definitely want to talk about that with the parents. Like that irritated the fuck out of me, bro. Like I know they're from Kansas, which for some reason they couldn't name it, I guess, for copyright issues or some shit. But like he just wanted to go see his parents. Somehow she knew where the parents were. Anyway.
I didn't get that part. How she knew where the parents were.
Exactly right. Like he's like, I can't take, but she flew anyway. Let's just let that go real quick. But mama, look here, Clark. I think I reckon there's something on the TV. I think you need to come in here. I'm like,
the most country Kent I've ever seen. You know, but
well, even the dad, where he's like, is our boy gonna be okay to Lois? And I'm like, why are you talking like that? Like,
I was gonna say it'd be one thing if Clark's voice was kind of like that when he was like in disguise, but you know, if it was like if Matthew McConaughey played Clark Kent, okay, I can understand that if you had him, but no, like it just doesn't add up. I don't know if they're gonna bring that up and say, well, because he's Kryptonian. His Kryptonian ancestry accent is more dominant than these Earthlings' accent. I don't know, but you're right. Their country is fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Did someone bring up chitlins?
Yeah, chitlins. Yeah, someone said, "Oh, you gonna make me that chitlins?" It's like, "Oh, what is chitlins? Oh, that's some. Oh, that's some intestine."
I was like, I was mad. I don't know why I was mad. I was like, "This is not. Hey, James, let's not do that." If it was Black Eyed Peas, I would have been like, "Stop."
I mean, to your point, I mean, they were so country that I was thinking like, if they're that country, and you want to go that old school, I'm wondering like, shouldn't Superman and Mr. Terrific's interaction should have been a little bit different? I mean, you know,
hey, it'd be like, yo, bro, that's not how I grew up. That's not how I grew up.
That's not how I grew up. Like, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Hold on, know your place. I got this. You ain't the smartest man. You are not the smartest man in the world. I am. It was like, you know your place.
I can't work for Mr. Perry. My dad said, no, this place.
He's like, I'm not working under you, Perry. Like,
I had to learn. I had to learn some things.
It's like,
I was like, why are we doing this shit? I was like, this is too much. I was like, country people should sue this movie. Like,
what do you think of the Superman robots? What do you think of the Superman robots?
Too much.
Too much?
Yeah. The guy, do you want us to believe that a robot was banging its own brains out because it didn't want Superman to know the truth about the video? Like, it's like, I can't. I'm sorry. Like, what do we? Is that what? How did they come back?
That's what's going to be my question. How did he create them again? Did he create them in the first place? If he did, how did he? I'm assuming he did because they couldn't have been on the ship.
Yeah, I see, and that's kind of a big issue I always had with just Superman in general. Is just like the ship somehow creates this fortress for one, and then in the fortress you mysteriously have like
in the first
I give up.
Christopher Reeve movie, it was the crystal. The crystal grew other crystals, and it was a crystal thing. So these robots, I don't know where the fuck they came from. So in Henry Cavill, it was a spaceship. Like they tried to make it realistic. So that makes sense, right? Now you got crystals and robots. So I'm like, where the fuck did the robots come from? And then
if they would have said something like, hey, they came with the ship and an instruction manual thing or something, you know what I mean? Because I mean, I'm not big on Superman, but I do realize I guess they're in the comic books in a sense, you know what I mean? Superman robots, but I don't. But if you're going to make this live action, you kind of need to have a little bit of.
See, now you want the ship. You want the ship.
No, I don't want the ship. No, I do not want the ship. I'm saying don't. I'm just saying don't put the robots in it. I'm saying don't put the robots in it. Period.
But the robots work because they give background. But you got to have the ship to make.
No, you can just say it. I don't need to see it, David. I don't need to see it. I just need you to say, "Whoa, yeah." When your father, sent like we came. All I need is one little line.
You want the dialogue? You want the dialogue to be like, hey.
No, one line, one line that can make up for those 20 minutes of crypto. Okay, like get rid of the crypto scenes and just put in like a line about how y'all came in there. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it. You know,
also,
or just say like maybe Superman has a supercomputer brain or something, and it only lasts like the first only when he touches something and then he's able to do it. Very briefly, and then
he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, bro. He's just muscle. He truly is just muscle. Like he's
brawn, huh? So you say when he said his brain, he was BSing, huh?
He was talking about the dog. The dog's the brains. Like that's how I took that scene because I'm like, again, why didn't Supergirl shows up? She was partying again. You don't go, hey girl, where the fuck were you? Like I was getting my ass whooped on a daily basis. Like you should, and then she don't go, what happened to my dog? Oh yeah, he got tortured by a Lex Luthor. What? Oh, I'll take care of that. Like that could have been like I'm gonna go find this dude and we him are gonna have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's that part?
I mean, she, in fairness, she was drunk, so she's not thinking about any of that stuff. She's just like, come in, come out. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, I feel like Supergirl's movie is going to do an origin. I feel like that's because how Supergirl is, because obviously different. Technically she's older than Kal-El, technically speaking. You know what I mean? By like 15 years,
something like that,
something like that. You know what I mean? So she knows all about Krypton, and I feel like they're going to probably. I mean, like you said, like now that we see that maybe the other Kryptonians weren't as good. You know, they were all kind of similar to Zod in a sense. If they were similar to Zod, what she'd be like, yeah, you know, my father and your father, like they were monsters or something. You know what I mean? And then she's just, which is why she probably maybe they'll say maybe that's why she's getting drunk. Because she's like,
they won't even address it, Chris.
You don't think they won't address it? So then Lobo just walks into a bar and she's gonna get in a fight with Lobo.
And at the end of this movie, everything's all good. Lex Luthor was behind the international crisis. We love Superman. That doesn't change the video. Like Lex Luthor being a criminal doesn't change the fact that Superman was sit here by his parents to conquer us, and we need to get to this. And he's like, here's your dog. I'm out. I got to get back to Lois Lane and make out with her in a mall that no one's in but us somehow. And I'm like,
and that's what hurts the direction they went, right? Because if this was, hey, there was the first half of the recording, Lex pretends he went to get the second half, or that he got the second half, but it's a doctored version of the second half. Now you're giving Lois something to do because she can expose that. You bring down Lex. Oh, that's not exactly what they said. Great. Everybody loves Superman. But to your point, if you don't do that, yeah, you brought down Lex, but his parents still want him to go destroy everything. How do you know he's not still playing you?
And be fruitful and multiply. How you know he ain't begging? What? But when they did that, oh my God! I'm like, James Gunn, what the fuck are you doing? You know, he likes the way the women look around here. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like now y'all. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, James, how did you think any of this made sense? Like, I don't understand. Are you gonna interview past girlfriends? Like, has anyone ever had sex with Superman? Clark Kent had a few girlfriends. These magical glasses. Let's talk about this shit. I'm like, what? So he has magical glasses that changes his face, and no one's ever knocked these glasses off him? Nobody, huh?
I thought he was joking.
I thought he was joking too, yeah.
I think he was joking. He wasn't being serious.
Yeah.
You talking about Guy Gardner when Green Lantern brought it up?
Yes.
No, he was joking. That was a joke. That was he was just,
I hope it was a joke. I only question it because then it's revealed that they know who he is. And
no, they said
right.
They said, yeah, so, but I'm saying that's the point. He was like, we know he's Clark Kent. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because he told them. He told them. That's why Lois said the line saying like,
okay.
damn, why does he trust damn, he trusts everyone.
Everybody, right.
Okay, yeah, so he clearly told him.
After all the silly shit I saw, I was prepared to be like, these glasses are from Krypton, and they changed your face. I was ready for it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's too trusting, unfortunately.
In fairness, that would make 1,000 times more sense than I just put on glasses and nobody knows who I am, right?
No one can figure this shit out. But I disagree with you on that. Lois is the one that brought down. I mean, Lois and Jimmy, like they're the ones that kind of brought down Lex. Like it wasn't even Superman. Like they're the ones that kind of put all the connects together. Like she's a finance forensics expert. Like she was like, this money was $10 billion and that's only $3 million. And I'm like, how the fuck did you? You're a forensic accountant now?
See,
like,
but that's my problem. A lot of the movie is just dialogue. You're just telling me things. I'm not seeing Lois be the investigator. I'm seeing, because even I went with my mom to go see it, right? And we're both in the car. We're talking about it. We're talking about the selfies. And I'm like, wait, so Jimmy didn't see Lex and that president in that selfie? Like, it's right there. But they had to give Lois something. So she has to look closer, even though it's right there in the mirror. Like, you see it. And then she's like, oh, see? And Lex, look at the stuff behind. Like, Jimmy, there's no way Jimmy did not see that. Like, it was so obvious behind the woman who he didn't even care about's head. Like, come on. What? But to your point, if the idea was the message was fabricated, then that gives Lois something specifically that she can go out and do.
Yes.
I never felt that she went out and did anything. Because, like, even when she went to go, she went to the Justice Gang, that's asking them for help. Mr. Terrific is the one who sort of spearheaded everything. She was along for the ride.
Yeah.
So where was Lois's moment?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. She and yeah, she happens. She wasn't necessarily a damsel in distress though. So I guess they kind of made her a little bit, as opposed to like Christopher Reeve or something where he either had save her happy ass. But this she was just kind of there. My baby says watching a replay because the review is going to thanks, babe.
Speaking of Christopher Reeves, I like the
son, right?
The somewhat of the tribute with having the son in there as a as the reporter. That was a nice touch.
Yeah,
nice touch.
Yeah,
so, that was cool. That was cool.
Jimmy Olsen, bro. So I'm on the phone with some girl who just wants it, and she has critical evidence to help me. And he's like, I just want to spend the weekend with you. He's like, I don't know about this. I'm like, what are we doing? Like
why wouldn't you lie about it just to get the evidence and then like move on?
Who was the blonde? Who was the blonde in the bustier? Is she important?
She's
Kat.
Yeah.
Is she somebody? Because they spend a lot of time on. I'm like, why? Are you here?
I think she's part of that whole crew. I don't really, like I said, I don't really mess with Superman like that. But
I know Perry.
I mean, she was in Supergirl, the TV series. She was the Perry of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was her.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're going in that direction here. She just kind of was there.
yeah, like why is she here? Like who is
Yeah.
this woman? 'Cause I know Perry. You know what I'm saying, I know Jimmy and Lois and Clark, and that's it. So I'm like, who is this woman? And I'm like, and this dude who's drinking Alka-Seltzer. I'm like, who? Like who
Maxwell
are you?
Lord though. They're putting Maxwell Lord in it. Well, was it James Gunn's brother?
Brother.
You know,
He's
Yeah.
apparently going to be in every project because there's no nepotism or anything going on there.
You know what though? Yo, you know what? I would do the same thing, bro. Like,
I would too, but like I wouldn't be so obvious.
Yeah,
but I think that's the running joke though. It's like when Ron Howard puts his own siblings or his daughter in stuff. Like you know what I mean? It's like you know what time it is. It's like watching an Adam Sandler movie and you don't get no David Spade or no Rob Snyder or none of those people.
Right, right.
You got to put at least two. With Adam Sandler, you got to put at least two of them in somewhere. You know what I mean? So
looking at James Gunn's leadership or plan for the DCU, I am disappointed that Robert Pattinson's Batman is not his Batman. Like he is going to create another Batman at some point, which I think is a terrible idea. Like you have a decent Batman. Right. You have a very decent Batman like that and he's gonna get a sequel. Like that doesn't make sense. Like if you did not learn from the previous universe where like you have one, you don't have spin-offs where you have like more than one Batman, therefore more than one Joker. It's like if you're gonna streamline this, you have a solid Batman you can work with. Even if he's in a different universe, you can pull that off. But you have a solid Batman to work with. That you bring him with your Superman, and then you can explain why he's not here. Because he's actually from another and that kind of justifies why there was no Batman that pops up in this one. Like, and then I mean, Aquaman to me, I'm like, it's like if you're gonna create your own, then you kill it. You say Matt Reeves, that was the old, and we appreciate that, but we're moving forward. But if you let that continue, now you got branches that don't. It's not cohesive. It's not.
Oh, so it wasn't like an agreement why they're doing the second one? That's not what happened?
No. Like, well, I mean, what do you mean agreement? I understand.
No, I mean like. Was there agreement saying that they were going to do a second one? Because I thought they announced the second one like soon after the first one came out. That was like kind of already, you know what I mean? I thought that.
Oh, so it's like it's already.
I feel like just like James Gunn had to, like when he came on board, Blue Beetle was already going to come out and Black Adam. I mean, he like in Flash, and he had to kind of be like, yeah, this is part of the universe. I think I'm gonna be honest. I think he was kind of stuck with a lot of these characters, you know what I mean? And Robert Pattinson, like, because he already kind of revealed what type of Batman he wants, and it's definitely not the right. Look, here's the deal, and y'all know I do not like Batman as you know, like a lot of DC characters. I do not like Batman as a character. However, the Robert Pattinson one, he's all right, you know what I mean? But that's not the type of Batman that James Gunn wants to create, and he can't just take that Robert Pattinson and all of a sudden do a 180 with that same character. It just wouldn't be right. So he would just have to be like, yeah, we're just going to do a different Bat. You know what I mean? And which is probably why he's not going to rush it. And which is why you see his upcoming projects, you don't see one of them being Batman right now. For the next 3 years, there's nothing about Batman, thank God. You know what I mean? It's other stuff going on.
So the script just got done, they said. So so it is going to your point, it's not part of DCU. He's already established that. But the script Matt Reeves wrote the script. So there maybe again it's going to be a one and done. They say it's 2 good movies. We appreciate you, but we're going to try to make our own direction for that. And then we got the Justice League as a foundation with that. But as we look at Superman's overall, how would you rate this Superman in comparison to the other 2 cinematic Superman?
Well, just really quick on the Batman front, I think that's a bad decision. I would have gone with just keeping one Batman entirely. I know they're doing an Elseworld kind of situation, but you don't want comparisons. And one of the biggest thing when you have comparisons, it's like, okay, maybe it's 5 years difference, 10 years difference. You're going to be talking about like 2 to 3 years difference. I'm going to compare these two. So unless your other Batman isn't like spot on amazing, I'm gonna be like, wait, why aren't we getting? That's not how you want to start your building blocks. That's not the best way to do it. But on the flip side, if I'm being fair to him as well, you also don't want to cancel this Batman because everybody loved it. So if you're just like, you know what, I'm coming in, I already knocked out Henry Cavill, which you all loved. Screw you, I'm also taking Batman. That's not the best look in the world. But at least with Batman, you can make the argument that it did really well. Like the last thing Henry Cavill was in, you can say, okay, wasn't that great? Whoever, whatever opinions people have. So I can see him I don't know. He's just got to be careful with that. I feel, because if you're building two different branches, like you said, David, you're going to run into a problem of people being like, I kind of like this branch more. Why am I seeing this Batman? Because this Batman over here has to be lighter. It cannot be as dark because it's not going to fit with Superman.
Nope.
Like I there was midway through the movie, I was like, man, how are they going to fit Batman in this world?
Yeah.
Like he's going to have to be a not completely,
Adam West.
but he's let's not go that far with it, but he's going to have to be like somewhere in the middle.
Be George Clooney. He want to be
right,
George Clooney.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But it's always going to be compared to. But yeah, as far as the movie goes, I would give it, for myself, like I say 7.5, probably, like somewhere there, a solid 7.5, maybe 7.8. I didn't hate it by any means. I think it was fun. But I do think, and a lot of people are like, James Gunn understood the assignment. No, he did not. I only say that because, again, this isn't just another Superman movie. It's the first movie of your new era. You had to get a freaking grand slam. And I don't think it did that. I think he played it too safe. He played too much in his wheelhouse. And I wanted to see something different from him. I wanted to see more of a standalone movie. You can still incorporate people, but I needed it to be standalone. And I think when you really look back on the movie, and like we've been doing here for the past hour, 20 minutes, when you start to dissect the movie, you're going to see things that you didn't realize before. And you're like, this isn't as strong as I thought it was. Everything else, the whole surface level stuff, the action, the look of it, on point. I have no problem with that. But when you get to the story, when you get to characters, like who is Lex Luthor besides somebody who hates Superman? But Lex Luthor is so much more complicated than that. I think that, like, for me, I was missing that from Lex. Like, where's the suave guy who can go into a room, get the hottest girl? Like, I don't know why he's with Eve. Like, guy doesn't seem like he would be with her. It feels like he would get somebody who's more on his level or a little lower or something like that. Yeah. I'm not seeing that, Lex. All I'm seeing is somebody who's just a straight line. I hate Superman. Straight line. That's it. Yeah. You know, Lois, like I said, I don't think I saw the investigative reporter. I saw somebody who was kind of handed a lot of elements. Crypto, he's a little too much in the movie. A little bit too much for me. The Justice Gang, I didn't hate them. I feel bad for Hawkgirl. I know you guys don't like her. I feel bad for her because she was in Madam Web. Nobody liked her in that. Like, she's like constantly. She was just in
the actress.
The actress. Yeah,
damn,
The Last of Us. I feel bad for season 2.
Yeah, she's been hooked up in some bad projects lately. Great actress. She's a great actress.
She's a great actress.
And it looks like she might actually do all right in Peacemaker. Like what I've seen of scenes where her and Guy Gardner's character in Peacemaker looks kind of funny. So, you know, maybe that will kind of save it a little bit.
I hope so, because her string of movies, man, it's just like, you got to talk to her agent.
She's getting that check, though. That I ain't mad.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. So how would you rate Superman's overall, though? As you look at the history of Christopher Reeve, you got Roth, you got Superman Returns, you got Henry Cavill. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is this new Superman compared to his predecessors?
I would place it number 3 for me. I do think Christopher Reeves is still the top. Like, it's just, he's the top one. I would give Henry Cavill number 2. I think Henry Cavill, he's sort of like the Hawkeye actress. It's like he's a good actor. I liked Man of Steel for the most part, but the following movies weren't his fault. Like, he just kind of got wrapped up in a bunch of political nonsense, you know? And I say that because I've seen the extended director's cuts and stuff like that. And I'm like, those are better stories. So yeah, I would say that, and then I would say that this one would be 3. Yeah.
All right. I like that.
Yeah, I can't even remember. Like, was Brandon Routh good? I can't remember if he was a good Superman.
He looked so much like Christopher Reeve when I saw him. I was like, this is 100% perfect casting, right? The problem with that movie was that it was an extension. It was a sequel to Superman 2 with Christopher Reeve. And you have to be old enough to know that, but somehow young enough to say it's not Christopher Reeve. Like, it's okay. Like, you have to know that. It didn't make any sense. The movie made no sense without that foundation, and therefore it was writing. The writing just didn't make any sense. Like, he Lois had his unknown child and this whole shit, and I'm like, what? And he's stalking her basically, like, and I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, what? Yeah, so it wasn't his fault, like I said, but like he really embodied that Christopher Reeve Superman, and I think he could have carried it. I thought. And then again, his flying style, his like head first type of fly, I really enjoyed like his exit. I thought, and then again, it kind of flew through, and he didn't do that in this one. The whole like, I see the earth and like he really did try to embody that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the homage to kind of like to Christopher Reeve with that movie, for me. But then Henry Cavill, and it became a different type of Superman, after that, very much so. All right, Chris, how would you in last words, how would you rack and stack Superman? That's
well, for starters, I would say for this movie, I'd probably give this like maybe a 6.5 out of 10. I would maybe lean towards the 7 only because of the acting. Like I would, because of Nicholas Hoult being Lex Luthor and Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner. So maybe I would say so. It was in between a 6.5 and 7, perhaps. But as far as racking and stacking, I mean, and we're just talking about movies, right? So as far as and then we're talking about the character of Superman, not the movies. Just
the character, the embodiment.
So the characters. Okay, so Christopher Reeves, obviously number one. I would have to say this one. I'm not. Here's the deal. I was not a fan. Look, Henry Cavill is awesome. Brandon, I'm not even gonna go on Brandon Routh. Right? We're not. I'm sorry. No to Brandon. But Henry Cavill was cool and all, but one of the problems, and this is why I always had an issue with Superman as a character, period, is that the dude he's like freaking immortal, basically, right? So anytime I see him being betrayed, which is why when I saw him fight against Batman, all I could do was laugh the entire film because it was just like, no, Henry Cavill, because you just established how badass you are. There's no way that you'll be tricked into running to Kryptonite, and then oh my God, Martha is the thing. Like it just so no. I mean, Henry Cavill is a badass himself, the actor. You know what I mean? And I appreciate what he was trying to do for Superman. But this Superman that we got this time around is what I wanted. A one that he can be killed. He can die. He had his bone being broke. That was probably the first time I ever saw that since maybe Christopher Reeves. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, his arm is out of socket. I was like, is that possible? I was like, even like, you know what I mean? Because like not even Doomsday, like Doomsday just kills him and that's it. But we never seen him like have a bone just dislodge. You know what I mean? Or like Kryptonite, like even though Kryptonite was gone, it took him a long. It wasn't like he miraculously healed. I like that. Like this is a Superman I always wanted because for the longest time. And I know people love the immortal Superman. I personally was never a fan of that because if that's it, then it didn't make sense that he would ever have a team like he would never group up with Batman or the Flash or Wonder Woman because he's just that amazing. You know what I mean? And then so this one was more down to earth. And you know what I mean? I'm not. That doesn't mean I'm saying that like this is like the greatest Superman ever. I'm just saying like. This is the type of Superman I would like in a sense of me kind of seeing that he can fail. Because if I'm walking in the movie and walking Superman, let's be real, he's always going to win, period, right? Even when he died in the Dawn of Justice, you knew the dude was going to come back as a badass. But this one, I was like a couple moments like, he might actually have to get help from Hawk Girl? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that was some real shit. I was like, oh wow, like, oh, this is different. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I would say this is probably second to Christopher Reeves. Christopher Reeve's the GOAT. You know, I mean, yeah, no one, I mean, you know, that's just how it is. So it would be kind of disrespectful to kind of put anyone above him. You know what I mean? So anyway, so yeah, so that's where I'll put it. And then I'll put Henry Cavill and then Brandon. So, you know, yeah. So
all right. I said 7. I usually don't. Terry knows. I don't like to quantitatively do stuff for some reason. It irritates me. But my friends, they do. They're like, David, what would you give it? And I said 7. Like 7. I was like, I didn't come for the Justice League. And anyway, so like Dawn of Justice. It was called Legacy originally. James Gunn named it Superman Legacy. It should have been Superman Dawn of Justice because they did bring in the Justice League. We agree. I think age has a lot to do with it. Like Christopher Reeve is my Superman. There's a lot of people online who are like, no, Henry Cavill, damn it, he's the standard. I'm like, no, that's your standard, and I get that. He was vulnerable. I remember watching Man of Steel, and I remember how many times he was like he was always grunting and shit, like it hurt to do shit, like So, and he didn't do everything by himself. He needed the humans. Like he only killed Zod. Those other two humans died to kill them. You know what I'm saying? Like so he too was like, I can't be everywhere at once, and his team were people. And I liked my problem. So I would say Christopher Reeve, Brandon. I would say Brandon, then Henry, then this dude. And this is why I say this. Henry Cavill played a Superman that was bullied as a child and lashed out when he grew up, which is insane because he's Superman. But he was bullied. He had to let people act like they hurt him, and as soon as he grow up, he hurt people. He hurt people. Like he destroyed that guy's trailer, his semi trailer. Sure. I would not forget that. Right.
The semi truck, yeah.
Yeah, right. And he was an asshole when he got his powers. And when he fought a dude in a suit named Bruce Wayne, he flew that fucker through like 3 walls. That is a bully who's like, I can finally hurt, and that's what he did. And it's all writing. But when he killed that African, one of my first videos was that Superman killed an African. Because he did. Remember when Lois?
Because he had racist parents. Remember? Because
no,
exactly. See how it all ties together.
it all comes together.
But it was insane that in the very same movie, after he kills Zod and he cries over it. This guy was out to kill a family with no hesitation. You had no choice but to do that, right? Flash forward to Dawn of Justice. A dude is holding your girlfriend hostage. You could easily just pluck her out and be done with it. He smiled and flew through that fucker through like 2 walls and kept on flying, and then went home and banged her in the bathtub. Like he had no problems.
Wait. So, you don't think that guy's still alive?
Absolutely not.
No, that guy's still alive, man. He's cool. He's good. You could go through walls. I don't know if you know that in comic books. You could go through walls.
That man splattered. And I'm like, and he just, hey baby, how you doing? Anyway, he was a psychopath. And that's why he's gotta be below Brandon. He has to be. Brandon took a bullet to the eyeball, which was one of the coolest scenes in a Superman movie. That shit was boss. And I was like, I thought he was cool. And he tried to be a daddy. Once he found out he had a kid, he tried to be a daddy, but it's like, hey, baby, I gotta fly though. I mean, literally, I gotta fly, and then I'll be back maybe. Child support. He don't pay child support. Damn it. All right, so never mind.
So what you're saying is all the Supermans are messed up in their own unique way.
But this dude,
one's an absentee father, one's a bully,
one gets shot in the eyeball.
Right.
I'm like, what is happening? But this dude, he just got really Southern parents, and he ain't smart. You know what I'm saying? He just fights when he can. He gets his ass whooped a lot. But I'm looking forward to see what happens. I look forward to he looked good in the suit. I hope he does well. He can stand on his own. I need to have a Superman movie where he's the guy. He's the guy that comes in and saves the day, being the Man of Steel, and that's why he's part of the top 3. He's part of the big 3. I'd like to say that. And Supergirl. I mean, she's just a good-looking actress. Come on now. I mean, she walked in, and people were like, "Yeah, all right, let's see this movie." I'm like, I'm not looking forward to Supergirl. I'm not by no means.
I think you have to. I don't think enough people know about her, know her origin. We're talking about whether she was going to get an origin story or not. I think you'd have to, because I don't really know what her story is. Yeah. It's not Superman, you know what I mean? Hasn't been that many portrayals of her. Nobody, I don't even know the actress's name who played the first Supergirl in the movie.
Oh yeah,
nobody remembers the movie, so I think you have to reestablish all that with her, right. You know.
Yeah.
But my biggest issue.
Direction would you take it? I don't know. I don't know they're going to do an origin since they kind of revealed that Lobo's going to be in it. Which means she's going to be in the other world. Which means we're not going to. I mean, it might be flashbacks.
Yeah, No, that's a good
Oh,
point.
but-
I forgot about him.
Or
Yeah.
dialogue, just like this one. Like for
Yeah.
some reason, she's gonna have to tell somebody how she got there and how she's older than than Kal-El, and no one called him Kal-El. Like no one knows his real name. So like, but like these does he know his real name? But like these are kind of things. Like it'll probably be dialogue. It'll probably be dialogue. Someone's gonna interview her or something, and she's like, I'm actually older than him, and da 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 da. But I don't think we're going back to Krypton. I mean,
No,
I
mean, and if it's anything like the animated versions of Supergirls or the other iterations, most likely she'll be on a distant planet, and she's going to have another crew that are going to be a bunch of okay. Basically, I would imagine Supergirl is going to be like another Guardians of the Galaxy in the sense of no, because
is that
the last Supergirl movie? It was Guardians in the sense
is that
of
the whole DCU?
because the other
Guardians?
Brainiac, because remember Brainiac, there was I don't know if you saw the movie. It's actually a good movie, but it was like she falls in love with Brainiac 17 or whatever version it was. So it's like all these different heroes from the different units. Like, wow, you're related to Superman. You know what I mean? And then so they're kind of using her whatever because they think that she can get in a good word for her with her cousin or whatnot. To be part of the the Justice League and crap like that. And then, but then they all had to battle this threat in another distant planet, like Guardians. You know what I mean? So I feel like, especially seeing like it was like a rough sketch of Supergirl sitting on some distant planet with just like her leg up or whatever, just like kind of just chilling, looking like she was eating something. And then hearing that Lobo's going to be in it, I was like, Lobo's going to be in it, like an intergalactic, like bounty hunter. Oh, then we're definitely ain't gonna do an origin thing in here. Then I was like, we're going to go a different direction completely. So, So I don't think we're going to get much of a origin other than words.
See that, but what you said worries me because even you said Guardians of the Galaxy twice.
Yes.
And if that is the direction the DCU is going to be, just Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy, because even with Batman,
Creature Commando, you saw Creature Commando.
Yeah,
Creature Commando was
Guardians. Guardians. Yeah.
Suicide Squad.
And Batman's going to be Guardians because of the Bat family.
Yeah.
Like it's going to keep being.
Right. That's right.
Peacemaker in this first season, Peacemaker, even though it was mostly Peacemaker, but Peacemaker and that dude who kept annoying him, it was Guardian-esque. You know what I mean? Maybe that was the one thing that was a little different. You know what I mean?
Waller. I thought she was going to be in this because she is.
So did I. Yeah.
Viola Davis, her own show, right? Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Since she is part of James Gunn's like plan, like he's not replacing her. Like again, she's gonna. I thought somehow she would be. I thought that's where Lex was going. Right. I thought somehow like she would be like Amanda Waller has Amanda has a place for him, something like that. And you're like, okay, so you don't have to see her, but it's acknowledged. That's what
right. Yeah, I don't know if she was doing G20 at the time, but I will say, speaking of that, I'm so glad that they got the homie playing General Flag playing Red Flag.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch. And if you watch Creature Commando, he's the same actor who voiced Flag's father. That's Flag's father. What you saw, who died in Suicide Squad. That's his dad. At least he. And so the show, the cartoon, was a continuation after the events of Suicide Squad, and he's pissed off about how his son, Amanda Waller, saying his son like died heroically trying to save the world, and he's like, nah, that shit don't sound right. And all of a sudden, I'm watching this movie, I'm like, oh shit, it's the same dude who played him. I forgot the actor's name, but so nice touch. But you're right, I was looking out for Waller as well. You know what I mean, and or at least hearing a name drop because I know
that's what I'm saying.
Because Viola Davis is busy, but to your point, they could at least drop the name at least.
That's what I'm saying. Who else can handle Lex? That's what I'm saying. To be like, I got a secure location for him. I mean, he's not gonna stay in there for long. But but that would have been. Anyway, Chris, any final words? We are represent that.
I would say this. I mean, if you're looking for a popcorn action movie over the summer, check this out. You would be very, very entertained. I know you guys might probably get upset with us the way we kind of critique this. You got to understand we just kind of fanboy out a little bit. So if you're not as big fanboys as us, you probably won't have a single issue with it, because I'm seeing a lot of reviews are giving this like a 10 out of 10, and everyone loves that damn dog. for some weird ass reason. But if you love dogs and if you just love just action, go ahead, check this out. We'll see if Fantastic Four does the same in the next 2 weeks as far as bringing that action and seeing how they can do ensembles and giant threats. We'll see. You know what I mean? There was that 2 weeks. So check it out and judge for yourself. And I can't wait to see at least what James Gunn does next for his next project. Till then, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, folks.
Thanks, Chris. See you next week.
Yep. See
you, Chris.
All right. Oh, what you got? Any final words?
A lot of who Chris said already, but no, I would just kind of encourage people don't get caught up in all this, like whether it's the media or your friends or whatever the case is. Don't get caught up in the back and forth. Like, if you enjoy the movie, great. If you don't like the movie, great. This is what it's all about. Have healthy conversations. There's something in it for everybody. I think even people who don't like it, they can find something about it that they were like, okay, that was kind of entertaining. And people who love it, God bless you. That's all I gotta say to that. But just don't get caught up in the discourse. That's the great thing about these movies. They're supposed to be for everybody on whatever level it is. Like Chris said, if you do not know the history of any of this stuff, you're going to go in and you're going to love this movie, most likely. If you do know the history, you're going to go in and you're going to be like, come on, James Gunn, what are you doing? But we're in a place where, as fans of comic books and comic book lore, that we even have these movies. So let's just be grateful for that.
Thanks, Phil. I will see your smiling face in 2 weeks for
Fantastic Four. You got it.
We'll do it, man. Thank you.
All right, man. You take care.
There. Thank you. And Jumani, I did not forget about you. I'm putting out a bounty. Name your prize to whoever has pictures of David dressed up like Superboy. To be specific, what I did was I had my long johns, and I used to wear them under my clothes to stay warm. And I just went, and I was like, I didn't actually have a shirt. But it was a thing. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. We do appreciate it. They said check out the movie. It is entertaining. Should you see it at home or in theaters? It's a lot of big stuff. So I would say this is a theater movie. This is a theater movie just for the size of the action. A lot of intergalactic stuff, so that kind of thing. So a lot of things to chew on. But let us know what you think in the comments, and please share the video. And I will see you tomorrow. We are going to do Dexter Resurrection, episodes 1 and 2. And then we're going to do Divorced Sisters. Kim. So Kim and I are going to do 2 videos tomorrow. Stacy is working this weekend. And then we'll do it again next weekend. So until next time. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching, people in the chat.
I enjoy the view very much.
I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this. Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You'll be like, oh shit.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
What do I go there?
Oh, shit. Stacey, do your thing.
Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just going to end this broadcast and say bye.